All right, everyone. I can already feel a sweat going from the amount of testosterone that's in this room because we have a guest here today to talk about physical fitness.
Hello.
Let's get physical.
So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Marcello. I'm a champion powerlifter. I broke the Connecticut and New York state record in the bench press. I bench pressed 400 pounds and I totaled over 1,500 in competition, which leads to a DOT score of about 550 something, I forget, which essentially means at my body weight of 175 pounds, I was one of the strongest people there, and I beat out roid heads that were in their 40s and stuff. So pretty good achievement. I think I would know what I'm talking about when it comes to physical fitness, and I'm a nerd and everything. So I would pass a kinesiologist test if it was put in front of me.
A what test?
A kinesiology test.
Are you
What is
sure
that?
about that?
Yes, I'm sure. You want to test me? Go ahead and test me.
You know what? We'll do it later in the
Google-
episode.
Google
We'll
What
do
the,
it later in the
hell's a, what the
episode.
hell's a kinesiology
like-
Kinesiology
test?
is like how your body works. It's like the study of it.
The study of
if-
how your body works.
Yeah. If you Google the hardest kinesiology question, I will get it right.
Are we starting off with the bang?
Yeah, it'll come out. It'll come out
You know
with.
what? You look up some kinesiology.
I'll look up that question real quick.
So, Marcello, you introduced yourself as you broke the New York and Connecticut state records.
Yeah.
And what exactly?
In powerlifting. So I went to a rookies meet that one of my friends told me to go to in Connecticut. It was in Derby, Connecticut. Very kind of like out of the way. And I guess Connecticut is just not really full of like powerlifting because powerlifting is a very niche kind of sport. But Connecticut especially, it's just so like open. It's like hillbilly stuff, right? So a lot of people, especially in Connecticut, didn't really have a lot of experience with powerlifting. So because I'm from New York, the state, and I won it only in Connecticut, it counted as a New York record because of my age and weight class. My weight class, I was 82 kilograms, which is about 175 pounds.
Okay.
And then in my age group, it's the 18 to 19. It's considered sub-juniors. So essentially, I'm getting an advantage because I'm super young, and there's some roid heads that were there, and that we're getting shit on. So
for those who, let's say, may not be as knowledgeable in the world of physical fitness,
yes.
What would you say is the difference between, let's say, a generic lifter, powerlifting, and then we'll put like CrossFit or hypertrophy training?
Hypertrophic training.
Yeah.
So I would say a normal person that just goes to the gym to get like physically fit is just to like become a healthier person in general, and they don't really have a specific goal in mind aside from a broad spectrum of just getting better day by day, which is good. It's obviously a good thing to go through. And I believe powerlifting is a little more like subsided. It's a little more like focused in a sense of like whatever size you are, you become the strongest person of that size. So since I'm only 5'8" and I'm 175 pounds, I'll probably never bench over 500 pounds. But there are some people that have benched over 700 pounds because they're 6'5", 350 pound hippos, right? But does that mean that they're stronger than me because
body weight,
mass moves mass kind of thing? So that's like really the argument. So usually if you can bench like double your body weight, that's like top 1% in the entire world, probably more than that, probably like top 0.001% in the entire world. And I bench like 2.5 times my body weight. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty good feat to have.
So what is your max? So when you say you benched 2.5 times your body weight, this is one rep.
Yes,
right?
1 rep. I paused it off my chest, or I paused it on my chest and I pushed it. I pushed it with my butt on the bench. So because powerlifting has a very specific set of rules, and one of those rules is your butt and nothing must leave the bench. You must be as stable as possible. So what that differs from is when people were to like, let's say you can eagle lift, their butt will come off the bench, you're overarching. You're not allowed to do that. So it essentially just guarantees that you're being as strong as you can and outputting as much force as you can as a normal person would. So if you were to take anyone off the street and put them in a bench press competition, that's how they would judge it. And I won that event. I was the highest bencher in the entire meet. And that's not even my specialty.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the deadlift is usually my specialty.
So what was your deadlift?
So my deadlifting competition was pretty bad. It was 580 something, I forget, because it's kilograms. But and then my bench was 380 something, and my squat was upper 400s.
So wait, this is kilos?
No, this is pounds.
Okay, pounds.
But I forget the conversion to kilo. I forget everything.
Okay, but when you say like 540, you said for deadlift?
I think 580.
580.
580
So
something.
580. That's pounds.
Yeah, 580 something pounds.
That's pretty interesting because I would consider myself an intermediate lifter, and I think I can deadlift I usually go for reps. So I'll do like between 5 and 10 reps. And I can do like 315, maybe.
That's
like
very good. That is very good.
A couple. Reps,
no human can stand up with that weight just normally. Like that's a very good feat.
No, but
it's the fact that I train for it is what's different. It's like arm wrestling. Mm-hmm. It's like arm wrestling's a technique. You know, just because you have a huge bicep does not mean you're gonna be a strong arm wrestler.
Would you be great in Russian slapping competitions?
No, I am small.
You're too small.
I'm too small.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. So then, what made you go into powerlifting? Because
before he answers that, I found is it an NASM CPT quiz? Is that what
I have no idea what that means.
I would say let's just answer the question.
It's from fitnessmentors.com.
Try take a quiz. I'll probably answer the question.
Okay. It just says 5 hardest questions on a CPT exam.
I don't know what CPT is.
That's what comes up when you type in kinesiology exam. Okay.
Let's see if I can get it right.
All right.
Which of the following is released into the synaptic terminal to stimulate muscular contraction? Calcium, troponin, acetylcholine, or actin?
Acetylcholine, I think.
Yes, it is acetylcholine. Damn. Okay.
Wait, what? For record, he has Marcello
zero
has no access to our laptop right now.
You can't see my computer with the questions on it. All right. So then second. Wait a minute.
I cannot see. I'm too low.
Okay, there's a window behind me. Okay.
Do you think I'm that tall?
I'm making sure you couldn't see that.
Bro was blind.
That the reflection wasn't coming from there. Okay.
Anyway. You can't see it either. The window was like pitch black. You thought I can actually see it.
Anyway, so the second question. Anything asking you about altered length, tension relationships, or... Wait, what? Oh, it's more of a description. I'm skipping that question. That's stupid. I'm going to the multiple choice questions. Which muscle can internally rotate the hip when the foot is in a planted position touching the floor?
What muscle? Oh, keep going.
The choices are gluteus maximus, adductor longus, TFL, or vastus medialis.
Vastus medialis is your quad, so it's not that. What'd you say the other one was? I kind of lost. I heard gluteus something, and then your adductor.
Gluteus maximus, adductor longus, TFL, or vastus medialis.
So it's not your TFL, but what does it say it does the movement of?
Which muscle can internally rotate the hip when the foot is in a planted position touching the floor?
Adductor longus.
Okay, hold on.
For record, I'm like trying to do this.
It's this internal. No, it's like this. Your hip. That's your adductor. Right. Out is your glute. That's why like spreading is like glute, like humping almost.
Pause.
I have to read it to find out what the answer is.
It says
TFL is the answer.
What is a TFL?
I don't know what a TFL is.
I don't know what that is. Okay, but your adductor performs. Okay, whatever.
It says in the back of the book, the TFL does perform internal rotation when the foot is in the planted position touching the floor.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay, next question is, which exercise follows the half foam roll in the lower extremity proprioceptive progression continuum?
What the fuck does that mean?
The answers are Bosu ball, balance beam, foam pad, or balance disc.
Bosu ball. I'm going with the
Bosu ball sounds, because it's just, what? It's just stupid. What type of question is this?
It says foam pad is the right
that's
answer.
Stupid as fuck.
It's a foam roll, so you should use a foam pad.
That's stupid. Okay.
Big brain.
All right, last one. Which of the following supplements have the greatest potential for excess dosage in adults?
Creatine monohydrate.
Multiple choices.
You got it for a second.
It lists off 4 different supplements at a time.
Go, sir.
So A is selenium, magnesium, vitamin D, and thiamine.
That sounds like a good, solid answer.
Second is vitamin A, D, iron, and zinc.
Does not sound like that.
Something for when you're sick.
3 is vitamin A, iodine, potassium, and vitamin K.
No.
And 4 is vitamin E, B12, biotin, and manganese.
Magnesium?
No, manganese.
I'm gonna go A. Vitamin D.
A again?
Selenium, magnesium, vitamin D, and thiamine.
Yeah, vitamin D is crazy. That's like been proven to boost your testosterone if you ever take vitamin D.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with A.
So I should just stand out in the sun and I'll get.
Or just take it. We have the supplements. Take the vitamin D little pill thing.
No.
It's the size of a Tic Tac. You can't swallow a Tic Tac.
No.
Why?
You swallow Tic Tacs?
No, I'm saying like you can't swallow a Tic Tac. It's that small.
I don't know. Like you can die.
It says the right answers are vitamins A, D, B6, iron, and zinc.
Okay, so that was question B. All right, well, that's just stupid. Ask me something about training, like what your muscles do, and I'll answer.
I don't know.
What is this?
Let's go on Quizlet.
Yeah, what made you get into
physical fitness? So I was always a skinny kid growing up. I was 135 pounds, a 5'6" freshman in high school, and I got pushed around a lot during 8th grade, and I ended up getting into fights because of it because I have a shitty attitude and a high temper. Do you remember Jack in middle school? Like the blonde kid, the stupid looking, goofy looking blonde kid. Remember when he hit me in the back with a stick?
That's not his name, by the way, just for everybody listening.
Do you remember when he hit me in the back with a stick because he lost a track meet?
It was a branch.
It was a ginormous like stump. It was like 12 feet long.
It was a tree branch.
It was like 60 pounds. I don't even know how he could lift it. Yeah, he hit me in the back.
Straight rage.
Yeah, and he shattered 6 of my vertebrae, my L4, my L5.
No, he didn't do all. No, the kid. No, the kid was a prick, but like.
No, he hit me in the back, but I had like some severe bruising when I got home. Like my entire right side was like stiff after that day. Yeah, I feel like I actually like broke something, but as a kid, like if you broke something, you'll know, right?
Yeah.
And like as a kid,
if you break something, you start screaming in pain.
Yeah. So I know obviously I didn't break anything, but as a kid, I thought I did. So the next day, I go to school and I choke slam him on a desk, and I got like super in trouble for that. But I said to the teacher, he started it. And the teacher believed me. Can I say the teacher's name?
No, do not say the teacher's name.
But now think this. 3rd grade, large woman.
I know exactly.
You know the teacher?
Yeah, I know who you're talking.
The old large woman.
So you said he started it. I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
I just said he started. He put his hands on me. I kind of got threatened, so I kind of threw him. And then she got mad, but she was like, okay, it's fine. So, yeah, I hated, in a sense, I hated being tossed around. So I decided to go into the gym this one day. I was on TikTok, and I saw an Indian kid get ripped of this super well-designed program, which was like a modified Arnold split, which AKA is like doing chest and back on a day, arms and shoulders on another day, and then legs on one day. But now looking back at it, it was super shitty. But since it was my first program, I made a lot of progress on it. So I just kept going every single day, and then boom, here I am.
And when was the exact like year or day that you actually started?
I started at the end of April 2020.
So right during COVID.
Right at the end, like kind of at the end of COVID almost, right? Like middle, or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, when the gyms opened up. When the gyms opened up.
My first gym was a Planet Fitness.
I feel like everybody starts at a Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is kind of like I would say, like the entry level one. The
home, the birthplace.
Yeah, the home. Yeah, it's like everybody starts at Planet Fitness. It's like you start and end at Planet Fitness. Like when you're really old, you probably go back to Planet Fitness. It's like,
it's a good place to start. Cause
you see the $10 a month and you're like, yeah, I could start with this.
I didn't even have $10 a month.
So what would you say to people who, let's say, they want to get fit, but they're just like looking for, I guess, the inspiration? Not necessarily an easy way out, but let's say like, it's like, dang, I want to go to the gym, but I kind of want to stay home.
But what's holding you back? Like if you just say you want to stay home, to be honest, just stop being a bitch. Like just go out. Like why you want to stay home? Like that's boring. Like go out. Like when you're in college, you don't want to go out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if they're scared to show their flabby bodies in public?
It's not my fault. Get rid of it. Go for a walk. That sounds like a dick thing to say.
Wear a sweatshirt.
Yeah. In all honesty, there's always ways you can progress. Even if you literally can't go to the gym. Like let's say you can't bicep curl 3 pounds, then just go for a walk. Like if I ever see like a morbidly obese person, right? Like some of my friends would be like, oh, don't you feel sorry for them? My answer would probably be like, well, don't you think they should go for a walk? Or don't you think they should actually be doing something to fix it? Mm-hmm. But usually when you see an obese person, they're actually going up in weight. It's because like you get used to a sedentary lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So if you're like 500 pounds, 545 pounds is going to be a year away because your appetite will actually, since you're going to get used to eating all the large food, your appetite's actually going to get like larger, and therefore it's going to eat more and more and more, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, don't you think that like they should go for a walk? That's usually what I would ask.
So what's your opinion on when people push back and they go, well, actually it's like a combination of like the food that ones eat and versus, so
just fix it. Like literally just fix it. Like it's not that hard. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I tried every diet in the world, and I'm like, did you try the diet that works? Are you sure you try everything in the world? Because there's a solution to everything. There's a reason why people are fit and why people are fat.
Yeah.
Right? So obviously there's something they didn't do that was right.
What's the
well, wait, can I? Oh, yeah. You go first. No, you go first. You go first.
I was gonna say, what about if somebody's in like a mental state, like a depression that they can't get out of, and they don't go to the gym, they don't leave the house?
Fix that first. Fix the root problem cause first, and then
like go to therapy. Figure out your problem.
Eat drinks, not drink. Have some vitamin D. Take some ashwagandha. Get a lot of sleep. You
said go outside.
Touch
some grass. No.
Touch some grass.
But going to the gym does
That's
like
my
help
therapy.
mental. Yeah, it does help mental health, and that like if you're struggling with mental health, going to the gym definitely does give you an outlet. Like I wouldn't say I'm mentally ill, but you know, sometimes when I go without going to the gym for like a couple of days, maybe like 3 days max, it's like I'm like getting antsy. I'm like, oh, I need like, because you know my job is a very sedentary job, so I can't, you know, I don't go like, you know,
it's just, are my arms sagging again? No,
not really that. It's just more like, you know, when you're used to expending so much energy and your body's like, I have all this extra energy I want to get rid of, you know, because like during the summer I like to go run. So by the end of the summer,
crazy. I love running.
When you can't run because, you know, it's like the winter, or well, it's not that you can't run, it's I don't want to run in 20-degree weather. You know, it's like your body has to reacclimate to not running all the time.
Yeah.
So you have all this pent up energy, and sometimes like that affects sleeping patterns, sometimes that affects stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when people have depression, or let's say have like to a certain degree like mental illness, when they go to the gym, not saying going to the gym is going to solve everything, but it definitely helps have like an outlet and a healthy outlet. You know, so that's why, like, you know, you'll have a lot of people like the gym saved me.
But you wouldn't be like Goggins, like running out in a thunderstorm, going on a 4-mile run.
He's better than everybody. You can't be him.
No.
Stop trying.
He just runs.
How much? Okay, I'm about to be a hater. How much do you think of it is real? Like,
how much of it is real?
Yeah.
Oh, like none
did
of
you see?
it.
I just saw a training video that he did with Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
You know who that is? I think he's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
And he's doing
damn good one.
He's doing running exercises with Tony Ferguson, and then every like few minutes, Tony's throwing up in a barf bag right next to him while David is still running.
Yeah, because
he's like, you need, if you want to get like as like tough and as dense as me, you have to do everything that I'm doing.
Yeah,
and he's trying to keep up, but he literally, his body can't do it yet because he's not acclimated yet.
But what's really interesting is like I remember there was this Business Insider YouTube series basically on like the U.S. military, and like Navy SEALs. A lot of people think like Navy SEALs are like jacked, right? That Navy SEALs are like, you know, these uber jacked guys, but they're really very like lean. They're like very lean men.
They can still beat your ass.
No, I'm not saying you know, but
that's how they
it's
move.
like the idea of
being lean doesn't mean that you're not
thinking like
strong.
all of Navy SEAls, you know, look like The Rock or something. Probably
Yeah.
some do, but a lot of them are very like lean and agile. Like they more resemble like soccer players.
Yeah.
You know,
well, there's a lot more gun work than there is.
Well, it's all training. They're not like eating like bodybuilders do, or they're not having like snacks and candy all the time and shit like that.
Because like David Goggins, a very like, I would say aesthetically like a very like representative of like what special forces looks like, just because you know I want to say David Goggins is like shredded.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, now he's a lot more. Well, if you look at the photos, like when he's doing the Navy SEAL training, he's kind of bulked up.
Yeah,
and then he looks like thinner now because he does a lot of those like ultra marathons and things like that. So he's always like burning calories and cardio.
Yeah, my high school principal did ultra marathons. So, and I know that it's very much like, I remember one time I asked him, I'm like, you know, how do you like do an ultra marathon? And he goes, it's very much mental, where first of all, you have to finish a marathon, right? Yeah. That's like the first. And then after you do a couple of marathons and you do a half ultra marathon, so 50 miles, and then you do your ultra marathon, and you have to go in expecting the entire day to possibly 2 days gone, that you're just going to be running.
Yeah, it's not a one-day event.
It's a very
it's like a 3-day, 4-day event.
It's a very mentally challenging, because a lot of people who do it, they're physically fit enough to do it, but it's just that they can't because, you know, they either crack or they're like, I'm just mentally exhausted and such. And I remember he told me that mile 60 is the hardest because it's like
mile 60?
Mile 60, because he said that you are closer to the end than you are to the beginning, but you're still 40 miles away from the finish line. So like a lot of people will break down at mile 60, like literally physically break, like start crying because they're like, I'm 40 miles away. I'm more than a marathon away. Like it starts, because, you know, the first 26, 30 miles is like, all right, yeah, I'm in it. And then, you know, then you settle in at mile 40. Then you're like, dang, this is getting long. Then you're at mile 60.
100 miles. That's New York to like Pennsylvania.
No, it's New York to you're outside of Montauk. New York to Montauk is 120 miles.
Yeah, but it takes place over a few days. It's not a one day thing. Days. And then you can do ones where you're in teams. So you do like 4 people in one run. Each one does like
that's just a normal marathon.
30 miles each.
But that's a marathon though.
That's just a marathon.
Yeah.
Well, if you do the ones with teams, then there's ones where you go solo and you go like 4 days. Like Goggins did it by himself. A whole 100 miles, miles by himself, with no prior training to running a marathon ever.
John, did you know I was a runner?
Yeah, I know you're a runner.
Did you know that we kind of like did the same sport for like 5 years?
You didn't do,
I did
not do mile runs. You did sprints.
Yeah, but still, I was a runner.
That's not the same.
I was insane.
Can you jog more than 5 miles?
I have a 6 minute
without
mile.
Stopping.
I have a 6. No, I have a shitty mile. I have like a 7 something mile.
That's not good.
that's
really shitty.
I don't know, because I do like jogging. I haven't sprinted in a long time, so I would probably like when I jog. I jog at like a 10-minute mile pace. Like I'm pretty slow. Like I kind of just go for
but you're not competing. You're just going for a mile.
I'm just going for vibes. Like I'll blast some music and just to go. But I know that. What was I going to say? But yeah, like mile 60 is a very challenging mile. Like I had a good friend of mine in college that did, I think they're called centuries. They're like 100-mile bike rides. And it's like the same thing. Once you hit like mile 60 or 70.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. Once you hit mile 60 or 70, you just, again, it's like just all of a sudden it's like this wall hits. And he got off the bike to tie his shoe or something because... Oh, no, not tie his shoe, to like readjust his shoe because he had the ones that like clicked onto the bike. And he was like, my legs, like I just looked at my bike on the ground. And his dad had to come and be like, let's get back on the bike, man. Like, come on, we can do this, you know? It's interesting. Would you ever do an Ironman?
No, fuck that shit.
Why?
Too much running.
Too much running.
It's just too much running.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, I know. My tibias would like disintegrate.
But like, okay, let's say you had a year to train.
Oh.
Would you do it?
How much money am I getting out of it if I win?
Bragging rights. You know how much bragging rights you have?
Wait, do you win any money from a marathon?
Yes, you do. You win like, I think the grand prize is like $100,000 if you win the New York City Marathon.
I do that.
There are people who compete in the marathon.
Yeah.
100 grand, gamble it away. That'd be fun.
Yeah, but I don't know about Ironman.
No, we'll just take the subway, skip like half the course, and finish the rest on a run.
You're gonna pull that woman with the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, you literally took the subway like 4 stops and then got off.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
That's not allowed.
No, you have to run through the track. And then they were like, so how did you think about this? And she was like, what section? It's like, what? Idiot. You had to run through that section to get here, didn't she? She's like, oh, yeah, of course I did.
Do your homework, idiot.
And they find out that she was lying the whole time.
No, so I think I would do an Ironman. But the problem with where it would get me is the swimming. Because you have to do a 2-mile swim. And
that's crazy. I sink.
I am not a strong, like I can swim, but I am not a strong swimmer.
I sink. I can't.
Me and John have tested this when we went to a vacation. Can I say the vacation? No, I'm not going to say where we went.
No, don't say where we went.
We
went on vacation.
We went on vacation to like a place that has a lot of pools, right? And we're doing this test. They said that Marcello can't like float. I'm like, okay. And I go, I inhale as much as I can, right? And then John's there and he like lifts me up kind of like a plank, like on the water, right? And I just sink all the way down like a cinder block.
It's because it was a 6-foot pool. Dense than your muscles are very dense.
No, but like I was inhaling. Like I had full sacks of lung. Full lungs.
Full sacks of lungs.
Yeah.
Full lungs, right? And I still just sunk.
Yeah.
Sank it.
You sank.
I sunk it. I still sunk it.
Yeah.
Right? And then like I was like, let's try it again, but let me exhale this time. And I just went even faster. Yeah. It was like world record, like deep or fastest descent by a human. It was crazy. It was actually this one time we went to another vacation. This wasn't really part of my family. It was more of like a friend's trip that I went to like a little bit ago. And what do you call it? Yeah. So we went to this like resort where there was like a lot of cliff jumping, and it was into a pool, but the pool was 15 feet deep.
That's a deep pool.
Yeah, it was a deep
well,
ass
usually
pool.
They're like 12 feet anyway.
15 feet deep though.
Yeah, it was a deep ass pool because the cliff jump was like 2 stories high. It was huge as shit.
Well,
right?
yeah, because then you have to have enough.
You have to have a lot, right?
A lot of space. Yeah.
So my friend who is 100 pounds, 5'2", jumps in, cannonball, right? Like like it just like they just plop up, right? And then like I see them swimming off because they're a pretty good swimmer. I almost said stripper. Why the fuck did I say stripper? They're a pretty good stripper, yeah.
Well, what's in his cup? Are you sure it's protein? His protein drink?
Yeah, you sure you're not roided out right now?
I don't know. You want to check my?
Yeah, piss in a cup for us.
I did at the comp. I'll get to that after. But so when I jump in, I swear to God, no one believes me on this. Every time I tell this story, people are like, "That's not true." Yada yada yada. Like physics doesn't work like that. I cannonballed as well, and I hit the bottom of that 15-foot pool with my ass. Like super hard. Like I hurt my tailbone.
Wait, really?
Yes, I went all the way down. Like people do not believe it. And I was like,
heavy
because my like eyes hurt, so I had my eyes closed, right? Because like I don't know the pressure, because it was a high jump, so the pressure like made me close my. I didn't have like goggles or anything. I just had my eyes closed, and I had my. We can't really see me doing it, but I'm holding my nose, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like have my eyes closed, and I jump, and I like even though like the pressure hurt my nose, hurt my eyes a little bit, so I kept them shut. And I just look up and I start swimming. And I swear to God, it felt like 10 years. I was just swimming straight up. It was like Dory, like just keep swimming.
Well,
like,
you need to be careful. Well, when you get that far deep, that fast, the pressure builds up in your head.
Did your ears, head, everything hurt. My ears popped.
Because you have to like blow the air out of your nose.
I didn't know I was gonna go that deep, bro. I just held my.
Learn that
How am I
last
supposed to know? This is my first time cliff jumping.
You didn't learn that last time?
No, she was scary.
All the shit you spend at the gym and you're scared of jumping into a fucking pool.
I could have drowned. I sink, bro.
And then going all the way back up is even worse because then it ignites the nitrogen in your cells.
Fuck that shit.
Wait. I saw that there was a photo of like people doing cliff jumping, and they're like, POV, why don't you do cliff jumping? And it's because I don't want to die like this, and they do head first, and it's like they're stuck in a crevice, like right perfectly. I was like, that now gives me paranoia. Like I don't, I don't want to die like this, but that's really interesting. I would like to do cliff jumping. There's a place in Croatia that you can jump off of a bridge. This huge bridge is like 70 feet in the air.
Hell
and
yeah!
then, like I would do it, but I feel like I would like knowing me, I would definitely get cold feet. But then I would just have to like just jump. Mm-hmm. I would never do bungee jump though.
Oh, because we already said the question. You said like pee in a cup. I'm like, I already did that.
Wait. Before we move on, let's do the first drink that we have here. You have to do a description of what it is.
So it's in a shot glass, and it literally looks like piss. It's like urine. It literally looks
two
like
shots. I did 2 shots of an alcohol this time.
Oh, it's just straight alcohol?
It's just straight alcohol. Well, not all of them are alcohol, but this one is.
This one's alcohol.
This one's alcohol.
It's not mixed or anything.
Can I? Oh, you know what? That went down really smooth. This is like candy.
Did you like it?
You know what? My girlfriend would really like this drink. I kind of like to taste my alcohol, but
what does it taste like?
Butterscotch. Is this an infused whiskey? I kind of want to say, I know it's not the answer, but I just want to say it. Is it grappa?
No, this is not grappa.
Oh.
If you had grappa right now, you would be like puckering up in disgust.
I want to test his alcohol knowledge. What do you think on the rocks means?
Green. That means like over ice. I know
yes.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
okay.
God. I know you don't drink, but come on.
What drinks do you know? Like you don't have to know how to make them. You just know them like face value.
Screwdriver.
Okay, that's one.
What's in a screwdriver?
Vodka and orange juice?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the easiest one.
Vodka cranberry.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously that's
Sex on the Beach.
Juice.
Sex on the Beach. All right, that's 3.
Bloody Mary.
Okay. A lot of vodka drinks.
That's like horse
God
rat.
damn.
Well, they're hangover drinks. So.
Yeah, they're hangover drinks. So like all right, you're into physical fitness. We can bring it back into this. So I don't know if you've ever been hungover.
Never.
But when you're hungover, your body is actually going through withdrawal symptoms.
That's
the idea.
Dangerous.
So because alcohol is a poison. The idea is
the best type of poison.
Yeah. So
you
the
could
idea
ever
is
ingest.
you're ingesting this poison.
No, wait, hold on. Let me interrupt you. Some philosophical stuff right here. Poison dart frogs aren't poisonous.
Are you using the right word there? Philosophical?
Yes, a very philosophical question. Right?
What is in this man's cup?
He's
I
a
need to see.
He's a philosophizer.
You want to take a sip? Take a sip.
I don't know.
Did you hear what I said?
So I'm inspecting this man.
He's a philosophizer.
A philosophizer.
So I have a cup of water on the desk, and Mark just sniffed it.
I had to inspect.
Okay, keep up with your philosopher stuff.
Poison dart frogs aren't poisonous. Humanity is the poison, and the dart frogs are the cure. Remember that.
Wait, is that the frog that like Native Americans would like lick to get high?
Is it? I don't know.
Is it
They're
like
just dangerous as shit? Because like if you touch one, you die instantly.
Oh, okay.
Related to any poison, it's like, I don't know.
It's really interesting.
Okay.
But
like a pufferfish, like its toxin is like super harmful, or like the man-o-war, the jellyfish that if it stings you die instantly. Or like a black mamba, right? Whatever that venom is in a black mamba. Yeah. It's like the black mamba isn't venomous. Humanity is the venom, and the black mamba is a cure. Think of it like that. Doesn't matter.
So basically, what Marcello is endorsing is mass genocide.
I'm having a hard time understanding how you connect this to the sweet taste of alcohol.
You want to know something also? Like I got another one that I just came up with. Real eyes, realize, real lies.
Isn't that a Wheezy verse? That sounds like a Little Wayne.
Is that a Weezer verse?
Is this a Wheezy? Are you Little Wayne?
I don't know where I heard. No, I got it from somewhere, but I don't even.
I think that's a Little Wayne. Well, that's his like nickname, Wheezy. But like, that's I think that's a little name.
Oh, you know where I got it from? I just remembered.
What?
You know the show The Boys?
Yeah.
The Deep says that in one clip.
Oh, interesting.
So and he's like looking at the camera like all like seductively. Yeah. And he's just like realize, like really fast. And I'm like, damn.
So
what's the episode where he tries to jerk off a dolphin?
How do you know about that?
I've seen that episode.
So, is it if we talk about it, is that a spoiler?
No, it's fine. The show's been out for years. You can say it now.
So spoiler ahead if you haven't seen it. In the first season, so the Deep is basically making fun of Aquaman, and he can talk to animals and he can swim really fast and he has gills on his stomach or whatever, right? So since he could talk to animals, one of the dolphins is basically like, oh, let me out. You think he's in an aquarium. So he steals a van, breaks into the aquarium, steals a dolphin, puts like this giant contraption in the back of the van so a dolphin can like sit up almost.
Yeah,
like,
he can just hold the dolphin in place.
So it can hold the dolphin in place, right? And he breaks out through the van and he's just like he's like speeding with the van and he's like breaking through like the gate entrance and stuff. And he's talking to the dolphin and like the way they like act it is like the Deep repeats what the dolphin's saying. So he goes, no, I will not turn on the radio. No, I will not get you a milkshake or something. You know what I mean? Like he repeats exactly. So there's one time where he goes, okay, if I touch it, will you shut up? And then he starts going, and then the dolphin's like, or whatever. And he's like, okay, fine. And the second as he like unbuckles his seatbelt to reach in the back, the Deep hard slams on the brake because he almost hits a truck, and the dolphin goes flying out the windshield. And it's like slow mo, and it's like
it ends up killing the
dolphin. There's like a song that happens, and like the Deep is like giving like a pan, like a slow turn to the dolphin. The dolphin's like looking back at him, and he goes flying out the window and bounces like 8 feet. And then like the Deep is like all sad and stuff, and then I was dying laughing while watching it. And then a truck comes and runs it over, and I was like, damn, bro.
Wow,
that show's good though. You ever watch the show?
I saw half of the first season. I have to keep watching it.
Well, you gotta watch it.
I'm watching other things right now.
You're watching the most useless shows ever. Like no one cares about. I've never heard about this.
No, everyone's heard about this.
No one's never heard about.
People
this.
from my childhood have heard about this.
Your childhood and our childhood are not very far apart.
Yeah, but a couple years makes a big difference.
A couple years does not make. And I mean.
Yeah.
It's like separates depression and world wars. A couple years.
What?
Like the Great Depression was only a couple years, so it's like a couple years could separate a depression.
I don't know. What?
Shut up.
But
back to the physical fitness question.
Going back to the physical fitness.
Okay.
So the hangover, right? Your body gets addicted to alcohol and you go through withdrawals, right? And the Bloody Mary is basically to get over a hangover, you have 3 ways to go. You either tough it out, you just drink water, carbohydrates. That's what you need. The second is you take an Advil and tough it out, coffee, kind of just like to pick you up.
It's like pee almost.
Yeah. Or 3 is to keep drinking, but you slow your dosage until you no longer
ramp it down almost.
Yeah. So you give the body what it, air quotes, what it wants, alcohol, and then you kind of just let the body just naturally wean off of alcohol for that entire day. So you do one more day of drinking, but it's much more controlled. And that's where the Bloody Mary.
Is that smart or is that dumb?
It's amazing.
It's schools of thought. So some people, they'll go ham, wake up in the morning, first thing they drink is a Bloody Mary, and then they're fine. That they're not, air quotes, drunk. Well, legally they are drunk, and then go to work or whatever, so they don't have the headache.
Just don't drink in the first place. No.
No.
So
some of us depend on it more than you.
So philosophically, why don't do you think like drinking kills your gains?
No, I just don't like it. Like I straight up just don't like anything. I've never tried an alcohol that I was like, damn, this tastes good.
Wow, you never had Mike's sex on the beach.
You have not had Mike's sex on the beach.
I haven't had anything. I've never had a beer before.
What?
That's not true.
No.
You've
like,
had a sip of
beer
beer
before.
I've
sipped it, but I've never like.
You never had like a Blue Moon?
You've never had a pint. I know.
Never had a pint? Not even a bottle? Not even like. I know that Arnold used to put, and I was telling John this earlier before the podcast. Arnold used to put schnapps in his.
Oh yeah, I know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger for anybody.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He used to put peach. I think it was peach schnapps.
He would put a whole egg, milk, banana, peanut butter, and schnapps in a protein shake.
Hell yeah!
And then
but there's no protein in it aside from the like 8 grams you get in an egg. No, that's it. He didn't put like any powder in it. That was his protein shake, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. Well, the man probably ate like 10 times a day, so that's where the extra protein. That's where he gets the
protein in. Well, have you seen him? He's pretty big.
Yeah, today or like back in the day?
Back then he was pretty big.
Yeah,
even today I would say
he was the guy with the most defined chest.
He had 21-inch arms. You know how big my arms are?
How big?
Take a guess. Not now, like fully pumped.
11.
No, what?
You're pretty small. You're pretty small.
15, 16.
When I tell you the number, you're gonna shock. And I have picture proof.
Like going around the bicep or just
around the peak of the bicep.
Is it more than 21? No.
7.
19-inch arms.
Wow.
You're small.
Yeah.
So what, do you just like take a tape measure like what tailors use and then you just kind of
I just wrapped it around my arm and had someone help me.
It was 19 inches wrapped around your bicep.
Yeah, and I was flexing.
So that's full pump.
Mega hard. It's full pump.
That's interesting.
But still, like that was crazy.
Cool.
Yeah. Now I kind of want to know how big my arms are. I never like measured it.
No, I never measure.
Like if I would have to do like a quick like round of push-ups, just get the pump going. No. So, all right. We spoke about, your training. We spoke about stuff like that. How has, I guess, your personal fitness journey gone along?
So
do you see yourself staying in powerlifting, or do you see yourself going into other avenues of fitness?
Well, I'm also into a lot of fighting. I have a friend that's been doing like mixed martial arts. He's been doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu, judo, Krav Maga, Muay Thai, all that stuff. You remember him, right? Up. He went to kindergarten. I've known him since kindergarten. You know his family. If I say his last name.
Don't say the name.
He has a very generic name though. Can I say his first name?
Yeah, you can say the first name.
Just say the first name.
Matt.
So Matt likes to do mixed martial arts.
Yeah, you know Matt. If I tell you,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he does mixed martial arts. Everything.
Right, and I like he told me one time, he's like, "Oh, Marcello, you should come to my house one time. I'll show you how to fight." And I'm like, "What?" That kind of sounds stupid, but sure. So I took him up on the offer, and then I like went to him, and he taught me like the most simplest things and simple like cues, and it's like a whole like art style. Like when you get into like let's say street fighting, right? Like you don't know what you're doing, like people just swing compared to like actual. It's like a sport, right? But like jiu-jitsu, and he's showing me like all the different fighting styles. Mm-hmm. It's like he's insanely good. So if you don't know who this person is, he has like he's a national record holder when it comes to fighting. He literally went cross country competing in fighting, right? I think his main thing is something above the belt, karate or something like that. And he's like a 7th degree black belt in karate or something. He's
really?
Yeah, he was crazy.
Your special skill is just to dodge and weave.
He can kick my ass, your ass, and Mark's ass.
Here's the thing about I'm not saying I would beat this guy up. He'd probably whoop my ass. But I will say this though. Street fights and like controlled fighting are two very different things.
Yeah.
Like street fights, people are going for eyes, people are punching throats, people like I remember Joe Rogan said something where like the most realistic form of fighting, like if you want to learn fighting as a self-defense mechanism, is MMA. Like, MMA is the closest, like as far as I know, MMA is the closest form of like
I think I heard
what you would see in a real air quotes real world. But a lot like what you're saying, a lot of the other MMAs or, kind of like just the regular fight styles are more like sports and they have rules. Like my dad, he did judo in college.
Oh, really?
And he'll be the first one to tell you he wasn't
a lot of throws and
good at judo. Yeah. He was just naturally bigger and stronger than a lot of his competitors, right? And his claim to fame, or what people would say his Al Bundy moment, was he was the 90th alternate for the 1984 Olympics. So that means 89 other people had to die or get out for him to go to the 84 Olympics. And I think it was in look for the 84 Olympics. I think it was either Moscow or Atlanta. It was one of those two. But basically, he auditioned. He tried out in
he auditioned for a judo.
I think it was an air base in Missouri, because he went to school in Kentucky. And it was like an open air base, and he played against this blind kid, right? And he goes, this blind kid was really good. Like how judo, they amended the rules where you had to start touching because, he's blind, obviously, right? And if you got too far away, they had to like pause it, and then they brought you back and you had to, start touching again. He was going to lose on points. Like my dad was going to lose to this blind kid on points.
Really?
Yes. Cause he was like, this kid, he said, was like a raccoon. Like he was smaller, but he would just go around
super
you,
quick.
So my dad says, I'm not losing to a fucking blind kid. So what my dad did, and this is very illegal in judo, he picked him up, like WWE slammed him, like threw him up and threw him on the mat, and the fight was over. The fight was over. And so he lost. He was
did he break his back or something?
No. I don't know about that, but it was like
I would presume that wouldn't hurt.
That would hurt. The getting thrown on the mat.
But it's
no. Imagine if somebody picked you up, so let's say you're 6 feet up and just threw you down on the mat.
That's light.
Even with the mat, you're still gonna hurt yourself.
That's kind of like you're gonna be like, God.
But man. Crippled to the point where you can't get up. How's that illegal?
It is illegal because in judo it has to be controlled movements. And I don't know the exact judo rules, but that is highly illegal. And he got disqualified. He was like, you're disqualified.
Damn.
And he was like, I was going to lose. He's like, if I allowed that fight to continue.
Rather than get disqualified.
Rather than lose to a blind kid, he was like, I am going to just disqualify myself. But
nice.
He was like, he said he was okay, but he won a lot of judo fights just being physically stronger.
Bigger and better.
And bigger. And he got like an official letter from the United States Judo Olympic team and was like, you're the 90th alternate. So did you find out where the 84 Olympics was? Or?
The 1984 Olympics. I have the medal summary. I'm trying to find the American team.
Well, he wouldn't have been. He didn't go there.
No, I'm looking for the American team that actually participated.
Yeah, but basically it was like those Olympics, and that was like his claim. But he loved judo. He was like, it's a very much it's primarily like defense. Mm-hmm. It's not like offense.
It's a primary defense. It's like using your opponent's body against them, kind of thing. That's why it involves a lot of throws. Mm-hmm. If you ever see the movie Austin Powers, he just says judo kick, judo chop, judo throw. Okay. But it's like actually kind of true, because like a judo chop, it's just like you stick your hand out and he runs into it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So what I found online, I found on judoinfo.com, the 1984 U.S. Olympic judo team. Because there's different categories depending on the kilograms, like weight kilograms. You had Eddie Liddy, Craig Agena, Mike Swain, Brett Barron, Robert Berland, Leo White, Doug Nelson, Dewey Mitchell, and Paul Maruyama.
Wow, so that means that...
No. Paul, he was the coach. Paul Maruyama was the coach.
So for my dad to get there, one of those guys had to leave or like be disqualified, and 89 other people
had to be out of commission.
Had to be out of commission for him to go.
That sounds stupid. I mean, there could be a chance of that happening, like if like the plague comes back or something, and then it so happens that 89 specific people decide to
kick
the bucket.
But no, and then I know that with MMA, however, that's like I'm a little conflicted about MMA. Like I respect it as a sport, but me personally is like, I'm paying money to go see two people like beat the living shit out of each other.
Sounds so
But those are also like two of like the toughest guys on earth duking it out in an octagon. Like any normal boxer, any normal wrestler, any normal judo guy could not beat an MMA person because they probably have studied all those martial arts skills.
Well, you know that there was an exhibition fight, and you can definitely look this up. It was an MMA fight, and it was a MMA world champion. I don't know who it was. I'm not into like the MMA scene, versus a Russian gulag debt collector.
Oh, I remember that. I remember
and
that.
This guy,
he's like,
this guy is like not in shape, right? This guy's all tatted out, like got hand tattoos, face tattoos.
Yeah.
And the UFC guy is like physically fit, right? And so they do the stare down, like they get into the ring. They do the stare down.
Wait. Let me interrupt you. Was the second fit guy, was he black?
Yeah.
Because that was a meme thing. It's like number one is the strongest person. Like one of them is either the strongest person in the world and the other one's the weakest person in the world. We don't know who it is. Because like either one could be, because you can never like underestimate your opponent kind of thing. Like if he looks shitty, he could be strong as shit. And the opposite for the other person, he could be fit and be super weak.
Yeah. So
because that's actually a lot of stuff. Like,
yeah,
like if you take like a lot of like there's actually like a lot of, like, not to get off topic, but there's also like a lot of like influencers online. I'm not gonna name anybody, but there's a lot of influencers that are jacked as shit. But then they make a video and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna text my maxes in the gym," and he has like 32-inch legs and something, or like a 58-inch like chest, or like what do you call it? A bosom, I think it's called. A bust, which is like around your chest and stuff.
Okay,
like under your armpit, around your chest, which is humongous, 58 inches, right? That's like a ginormous chest. So he goes on the bench press.
That's my chest.
Okay,
size.
Your breasts, boobs, but like they'll go into the gym and then they'll bench like 2 plates.
Damn.
Which for someone who's probably like 300 pounds is very shitty. So
steroids, keep just go on the roids, bro. Easiest way to succeed. They did it in the 80s. Just do it now.
Yeah, but going back to this exhibition match, so what happened was that this debt collector is like kind of, they do the stare down right before the match happens, right? And they like, the UFC guy's like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you up," like a stare down.
Yeah.
This Russian debt collector is just like looking at him, just like
deadpan stare,
deadpan, looking at him, and kind of like going through his fingernails. And the fight starts. The UFC guy's faster off the ball, like faster off the bell, and just go boom boom, lands the first punches. The guy, the Russian debt collector, grabs the guy's hand and just socks him straight in the face. Technical KO in like 45 seconds.
Damn.
Yeah, and then they go up to him and they're like, "Why, like, don't you fight?" He goes, "I don't like fighting. I only fight when I have to survive, like in Russian prison." And this guy, he goes, is a debt collector where if you owed somebody money in prison, he would come and like break your leg or like break your hand, And it's just like 2 different worlds. Like he's like, I fight to
he's
survive.
Probably a big dude. Like
he's like a big dude, but you would just think, like you said, like you would just think this guy is like just a random fat guy like on the street. But this man can break your femur bone with his bare hands, Or
it's like you see those arm wrestling videos where it's like a bodybuilder versus like a 45-year-old dad that works in construction. Yeah. And then the old man wins.
Yeah.
Because he has that like strength from all the years and conditioning. Yeah.
It's just honestly, it's probably just more years. That's really all it is. It's because you like just experience alone is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that would be a really interesting thing. And I spoke to my dad about this. What would you do? Or like if you got the world's strongest men, right? The world's strongest men, let's say the 10 world's strongest men, and you taught them football. So let's say like you get them into the NFL, you get like the New York Giants, right? You get like Brendan Shaw as the center. You get like Eddie Hall as the guard. Like
Brian Shaw.
Brian Shaw. Sorry.
Half Thor Bjornsson.
Yeah, like you get all these big ass guys, right? And you know what? Eddie Hall would be a fullback now. We're gonna get mass motion, object in motion stays in motion, and you just teach him football. Like, how good would that team be?
Very fucking good.
You think
there's a difference between like practice and just being genetically gifted.
So I don't know about that because I played football and I know that like I would say that mass does matter. Like there were some linemen that were not strong as hell. They were just fat. And they would just push their weight on you.
But there's difference.
These guys are both strong and fat. Like Brian Shaw, if you don't know Brian Shaw, he's 6'8" and 450 pounds. Right?
Wasn't one of those like videos he showed when he had breakfast? He had
10,000 calories easily.
It was like 50 hamburgers or something.
So if you don't know, there's like challenge that people do. It's called a 10,000 calorie challenge. If you need 10,000 calories in a day, a lot of people fail. I feel like I can do that, and I feel like you can do that too.
It's there's actually
Isn't
a
that
cheat.
just like 4 or 5 McDonald's runs.
Yeah, like it's not that bad, but no, people can't do it because they're whims. But I feel like if you just have like a Big Mac,
a cheat code
You're
to
making
it.
me think of like fat.
There's a cheat code to it actually. Do you know Rob McElhenney?
Heard
you know
of
who
his
that
name,
is?
but I don't really know who he is.
He's the guy on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh,
he's the guy who created the show.
Yeah.
He plays as Mac.
I know who you're talking about.
He just bought that football team Wrexham with Ryan Reynolds.
I don't know.
That? So he's a TV producer and an actor. One season of It's Always Sunny, his character had to gain like an additional 50 pounds for that whole season. So that whole season he's like completely overweight, and that's part of the joke. So to gain that much weight while they were filming, he found a cheat code where you take a whole carton of ice cream, you leave it outside on your counter, you let it melt the whole day, and you just drink for like 5,000 plus calories a day out of that milk, out of that carton of ice cream.
So gross.
So you know what Ben and Jerry's...
because he was like, you can't eat solid 5,000 calories a day. But I found out that you can drink 5,000 calories a day because ice cream is like the fattest thing you can possibly digest. So just melt
oil is. You ever chug oil
or something like that? That's what he was saying. So he was saying. So like the fastest way I gained those pounds was just by drinking cartons of ice cream every day.
That's insane.
So you know a pint of Ben and Jerry's? Like, you know how big a pint is, right? Of like ice cream.
Yeah.
So a pint of Ben and Jerry's biggest calorie thing, Chunky Monkey, is 1,350 calories. A little pint. That's like 3 spoonfuls for me. I can get that.
Wait, it's 1,300 calories in that
1,300 in a pint of Chunky Monkey.
Yeah, but imagine having a carton of that.
Yeah, no, a carton's easy, especially if you're drinking it.
You think you can eat a whole crave case?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm bringing this back.
You're bringing this back up?
I am bringing this back. You think you can definitively eat a whole crave case?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I
tried it, and I kind of start tapping out at like 12 or 13.
How many are in a crave case?
20.
20, yeah, I
So-
can definitely.
But those are 20 sliders though. Like you can dog like the first 8.
A White
9,
Castle
but then
slider
it's
is not as big as an average slider though. They're pretty small.
See, you are underestimating this crave case like 100%. Like on one of these episodes, I should bring 2 crave cases. And
I am not doing that.
You're not. Why not?
Bring a
If you
crave
could do
case.
it.
Bring it. I would do that. I would I would win. I could probably more than you now,
That
John.
is so much. I don't want to eat 20 sliders by myself. I know people who used to do that like years ago. They would share crave cases back in the day.
A mutual friend that we have, and you're gonna know who I'm talking about. Him and I did this like
wait,
when we were in high
Mark?
school. What?
Is it John?
No. It's one of our mutual friends.
Is it Mark?
No.
No.
So
Shut up.
basically, what happened was we have a mutual friend where him and I got 2 crave cases. Right? We were like, oh, let's do this challenge, right? And he's like a big dude. Like he's a very strong guy. Like he's I think like 6'1", maybe like 280, but he's like a big guy though. No, and I think he got to like 13, 14, and he was like, I'm tapped out. Like I cannot. And it's just like it creeps up on you. It's like once you're down like 9 or 10, then you start feeling the first 5, and you're like, boom, it's starting to settle in. It's starting to like, now I gotta hit the shitter. Like,
well, I think it's like just hitting like that much fast food in one sitting would sit on you like that.
No, it creeps up on you. Like I got to I think about 10, and I'm just like I'm tapped out. Like
I have the appetite of 6.
How big is a White Castle slider?
I would say about this big. Like, or I would say the shot glass. Yeah, that's fair. Like if the shot glass would be like a
10
slider.
of those or 20 of those?
Yeah, 20 of
I
these.
might eat 50 of those.
I don't know,
You say that now.
Yeah, you say that now.
Remember when
and the bev.
Yeah.
You know
Bam.
what's good at
Makes
White
it
Castle?
easier.
You ever had their chicken rings?
To be honest, I'm not a fan of them. Like I
They're
respect
not bad.
them,
They're pretty good.
but I'm not a fan of them.
Wait, John, remember when we went to that restaurant after the competition? You were there, right? With the shake. Remember how they had like
which restaurant?
The cake shake? It was a diner.
That's a Chicago thing, you know that? A cake
yeah.
shake? That's big in Chicago.
You don't remember?
Was it the Elm Street Diner?
Yeah. Oh, we could say names? I didn't know. I was going to say.
Yeah, you can say the name of the restaurant.
It was Elm Street Diner. Amazing food. The food was delicious.
It was more...
You're saying
wrong.
it's mid?
It was not mid. He probably ordered pancakes.
They post a lot of stuff for Instagram.
Yeah, it's mainly for social media.
Like that?
It was like one of those shakes where it's like a huge chunk of cake, but then like watery milkshake.
I know exactly what type. You know exactly what place.
Like
I'm about.
The food was good, but the milkshake was more presentation than it was $10,
and you got it was a lot of packaged stuff. Like it's like they don't. I don't.
Did it come with like a fudge pop on it? Or
yeah,
something
but it's like Twinkies and stuff.
Wait, so is it a cake? So was it a milkshake with a piece of cake, or was it a cake shake?
It's a milkshake, one of those tall glasses. The rim is covered in like cream frosting, and sprinkles and stuff. It's an actual milkshake inside, and then on top is 4 straws and like 3 spoons, right? And then on top, like in between, like where the straws are poking through it, is a giant cake. And it depends on the flavor you want. So I think we got red velvet. So we got a red velvet.
Like
good flavor. Good flavor.
Yeah, a slice of red velvet cake. We got a red velvet cupcake. We got like Twinkies, ring dings, ding dongs.
This is all in one milkshake?
All in one milkshake. And then like in the milkshake.
That's your 10,000 calorie challenge right there.
And then we had the Kinder Bueno was in it. There's like a Hershey bar on the side. Like there's a bunch of stuff attached to it. You don't remember? I have pictures of it.
It was not all in the same milkshake.
Yeah, no, it was all on the side.
No, I had my own too.
You had your own too?
I had my own milkshake. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, we finished it. Like I finished my meal.
They would not combine Hershey's chocolate and a red velvet cake.
They did. I have a picture. I promise you. I pinky promise. You can't bring a pinky.
I don't remember that.
You can't bring a pinky promise, bro.
Do you know what a cake shake is? Well, so in Chicago, it's a really big thing. It's like where instead of just ice cream, they just put a slice of cake in it and then they mix it.
Oh yeah, they did that.
So when you said a cake shake, I was like, oh, that's like, because I've had it once.
Gabriel Iglesias.
It's also like one of those things that'll kill you.
It's good though.
It tastes good, but is it worth
happy? Maybe. My student loans it probably would. But no, okay.
We are an hour into the episode, so let's do the alcohol now.
All right, I'm gonna go with. I don't think it's whiskey because it didn't burn. This is definitely an infused vodka because I know you and Mike want to black pill me into liking vodka. So I'm saying like a buttered vodka. Like you definitely put like the butterscotch or what is it, Woolworths? Or is that what it were?
Why are you looking at me when you said that?
The Woolworths. The little Wentworth. That's what I was saying.
What is that?
That's a little caramel thing or butterscotch. So I'm thinking you took a little like thing of vodka in preparation for this episode. Put a bunch of those in, shake them up for like, maybe a couple of days and let it infuse.
It's, do you know what Frangelico is?
No, I don't know what Frangelico is.
Frangelico is a hazelnut flavored liqueur.
You know what's funny about Nutella? You want to know a fun fact about it?
What?
You know how Nutella got, became Nutella?
No, what?
So
what did you
do?
Was it illegal?
No, when the Second World War broke out, most of the like Allied nations embargoed Italy, right? Mm-hmm. So they could no longer import chocolate. So they created the hazelnut spread because hazelnuts could be imported, and that's how Nutella was born. That's the same thing with Fanta. Fantasy.
Fanta's like a popular German drink, right?
Yeah, and it was started in World War II in Germany because the Coca-Cola company in Germany couldn't import the Coca-Cola formula anymore. So they created a synthetic orange syrup and mixed it in with the Coca-Cola processing. And that's how Fanta created. So that's why you never hear Fanta of celebrating its anniversary.
Wow.
Damn.
They actually got in trouble once. So you can probably look up this campaign. They had the Fanta going back to the good old 40s, and everybody was like, pause. What?
Yeah, someone at the office wasn't.
Yeah, somebody in the office wasn't. So it's like saying
Fanta going back
to the good old 40s, or just do Fanta good old 40s. And then that was their
to good old 40s.
Yeah. That was their marketing, Yeah,
the Coca-Cola company. Oh, this is from the timesofisrael.com.
That's all horrible.
The Coca-Cola company pulled a German television ad for the orange soft drink Fanta following complaints that the commercial referred to the 1940s when the beverage was invented, following an international trade embargo on the Nazi regime as the good old time.
James Quincy, what are you doing? He's the CEO of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
That's
Warren Buffett, what are you doing?
John Murphy, he's a CFO of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it was the 75th anniversary of Fanta.
Yeah, they don't celebrate.
Yeah, somebody in the office wasn't fully aware.
Yeah. No, there was this really other, this is going to sound terrible, but there was this really funny Volkswagen commercial. They were advertising the Golf, and they can literally say they were advertising it from Berlin to Warsaw in one tank. and it's like Volkswagen.
They really need to. Do they not notice that?
No. One of the greatest
nobody's
ad
hearing
campaigns,
it.
and I took a marketing class, and it was a Learn English commercial actually. So, so it's a German commercial to learn English. So it's this German Coast Guard station, right? And it's like the commercial opens it where the senior officer and the junior officer are there, and the senior officer is showing him how to run the duties, right? So the senior officer is like, yeah, I'll come back, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee or something. And all of a sudden you see the junior officer like, wow, like I'm here all alone in this great like office. And all of a sudden, the British distress signal comes out, and it's like, help us, we're sinking out here, we're sinking, we need mayday, we're sinking. And the German officer is like looking for the senior officer. And, he's looking around, and he goes, hello, this is the German Coast Guard. What are you all thinking about? It's just like learn English, and it was very like, that was one of like the most successful campaigns.
Mm-hmm. You know what ad campaign was very successful?
What?
Snickers. When they did the whole you're not you when you're hungry. When they did the what was her name? The really old actress that
Betty White.
The Betty White commercial.
Wait, it was actually Betty White. I just said a random old lady's name.
No, that's Betty White.
I'll just say the Queen.
Betty White is the Betty White commercial where they're playing football on like an open field.
Know the commercial.
And they're like, I forgot what the actual name was.
Oh, she was like insulting everyone.
It was like, Chris, like, what are you doing out there? We're losing out there. He's like, I'm trying. Betty White's like, I'm trying my best out here. He's like, you're not you when you're hungry. Have a Snickers. And he turns back into a guy playing football. Yeah. And that ad campaign saved Snickers.
What? Snickers was in distress?
Yeah, they were like down in the dumps at that point.
Really? I always thought like Snickers was kind of always like an S tier candy.
Well, in their competition against the other like chocolate bars, like at the time they weren't. And then like their ad team pulled this whole new strategy, and that's what saved them from.
Wait, who was number one?
Brought them back on like the main competition.
Who beat Snickers?
Yeah, like what candy?
If it was Butterfinger, some stupid shit.
No, it was probably like Milky Way. It was probably Three Musketeers. It had
Milky
to be like
Way
the
is
main ones.
Milky Way and Musketeers are pretty good competitors.
Those are pretty good.
I'm going to type in real quick.
It's going to be something stupid like an O. Henry. Like no one cares about.
An O. Henry? What?
Like an O. Henry? You know an O. Henry bar?
No.
You never heard of that?
No.
An O. Henry bar?
No.
What even is an O. Henry bar?
Probably like nuts.
Yeah, it's just nuts. Payday is good. You ever tried Payday, John?
I've had Payday.
I have tried Payday, yeah.
My dad's favorite chocolate bar is a Chunky.
A Chunky?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that. I know Chunky.
I know, though, the reason why I say Snickers is crazy because my dad would, like, his go-to meal, like, when he was in a rush for the longest time, was a Diet Coke and a Snickers. That was literally, like, his... Like, he would be like, that is the breakfast. That's the breakfast of champions, is a Diet Coke and a Snickers. I
want to do that now. Let's go buy a Snickers.
So that campaign, You're Not You When You're Hungry.
Yeah.
In the first year of that campaign, sales increased by 15.9%. After a 2-year period, they increased by $376 million.
That's nothing.
I know that marketing agency was making bank. Like whoever, coined that term.
I remember like back in school, because we did do like a marketing class back in college, and they were talking about certain campaigns, and this one it was as a response to like being beat out by their competitors.
Really?
Even though like Snickers, most companies are owned by the same, like Mars Inc. and Hershey own practically everything. So it doesn't really matter.
You're gonna have a George Carlin moment.
It doesn't really matter like if they're competing because they own most of everything that's out there. So it's like,
so why not just combine it into one?
Because there's this thing called antitrust laws that
you can't turn into a monopoly into a company.
That's stupid. But doesn't Con Edison have that?
Well, Con Edison is essentially like a public utility, and Con Edison, the city council, there's price controls on Con Edison.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a controlled monopoly. So there's nothing you can do about that.
So it's like the MTA is a controlled monopoly.
Yeah, that's why like even though like Disney being like one of their biggest examples, like owning every other company, they're still under like actually who owns Disney?
No, Disney. I
Walt
think
Disney
owns. Well, like yeah, I think it's Disney. Nobody owns Disney.
No, they're owned by another company.
No way. Is it the Disney
they
Corporation?
They have a parent company.
is it PepsiCo?
No.
No way. Disney doesn't have a parent company.
No. Disney has a
Really?
parent company. Hold on, let me look this up.
He's gonna Google. He's not gonna find anything.
Well, Google's like Alphabet. I think Alphabet is Google's parent company.
What's Alphabet?
Alphabet, I guess it's like their managing parent company. But I know that the biggest word on the block is that Apple may buy Disney.
Apple made by Disney?
That's gonna be a huge purchase.
Because basically, so a lot of the investors are upset with Bob Iger.
Who's Bob Iger?
He's the CEO of Disney, and a lot of investors are upset because a lot of the like most recent Disney movies have been like huge flops, and like Disney Plus
like
is
multi-million-dollar failures.
Yeah, the Disney Plus is kind of flopping. And so
just poor
they're
choices.
like, oh, they want to get rid of, and Disney's like ongoing political battle, not to make it political.
They said to make like a normal movie. Like, what's a good movie?
What?
Like a good Disney movie? Like, so many was...
Dang.
Tangled. What was that? Is that Disney?
Tangled?
Yeah.
Tangled.
Was that Pixar?
That was well, like Disney and Pixar are like a dream team. Like whenever they kind of
but
Luca was a good movie.
Even then, they're not at the
because
same game.
Disney's
as they were
like all the
back then.
princesses.
Was a good movie.
Like any princess movie is Disney.
I think Disney has to be owned by something.
No, I think Disney is the parent company of other people.
No, that's true. But like, there was a company that owns Disney. It's like
really.
Wait,
like if you look at the top like 7 media. Actually, let me just look up top 7.
Is it Vanguard that it has? Maybe it's a company that has controlling shares of Disney.
Well, there's multiple like that.
Wait, is The Incredibles a Disney movie?
Yes.
Like the most media, there are media companies that are owned by. There's like 5, 6, or 7 media companies that own everything.
Yeah, Comcast is one.
Viacom. I think probably Walt Disney is one of them.
Yeah, I think Disney is like one of those 7.
Like Warner is a big one.
Yeah.
Fox is a big one.
No, but I know that so like so basically Bob Iger is getting like a lot of heat from all the stakeholders, and they're basically like, oh, you should resign, we want you to resign, blah blah blah. He's like, I ain't resigning. And and he's boys with Tim Cook, like they're boys. And he basically was floating around, like there's this event that all these like mega CEOs go to, right, where basically they talk acquisitions. You can look it up, but basically that's where Jeff Bezos and the CEO of the Washington Post got together, and that's where they made the acquisition deal of, Amazon will buy the Washington Post.
Yeah.
So there was a photo taken between Tim Cook and Bob Iger at this event, and people were speculating that Apple is going to buy Disney or will buy lots of assets from Disney. As Disney looks to sell, like
merge like Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, stuff
Disney
like
Plus.
that.
But Disney Plus kind of does suck.
Yeah, like what do they got? The Mandalorian. I'm talking about like Disney Plus originals.
Yeah. Well, one of the biggest issues is that they have such like
shitty things on it.
Well, they have such a strong push for political correctness that it's just upsetting a majority of audiences.
Didn't they cancel the Snow White movie?
They canceled it because the lead actress
Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, she was just like, I better be getting paid extra for all the work I'm putting into this.
Wait, didn't it get into like heat because she was like a bald black woman or something?
No, that was a Tangled thing.
Yeah, that was a Tangled thing. I was like, it was like Rapunzel, the person playing Rapunzel. Wasn't it like Will Smith's daughter?
Willow was in a Disney movie.
It was like it was some famous actress's daughter.
I think you're thinking of The Little Mermaid.
It might have been her, but no, because it had to do something with hair. People had a problem because she's bald. Well, not bald, but she has like a crew cut. It was a black woman that had a crew cut. Mm-hmm. But the whole emphasis of the story is to not be that. You know what I mean?
Well, no, because it's not. They're just taking their older assets, and then replacing the main leads with minority actors.
But that doesn't make sense.
And then like trying to like show, oh no, of course we're PC. Look, we just cast Snow White as a Hispanic person.
But why? She wasn't Hispanic.
But it's still a shitty movie, regardless of the actor. Like they put so much emphasis on the political parts of it, while also making a really shitty movie. So not only did you not prove a point, you also didn't make your money back. No one's impressed, and you made an addition to a franchise that's been dead for a while.
Yeah, and also it's just very like.
It's like feels
lazy
like it's
writing. It's just it feels very forced. It's very lazy writing because it's like
we're not.
Why don't you just like they're just out of ideas. They're out of ideas. They're just making live action of classics and they're butchering them. Like Mulan was trash.
Yeah.
Snow White was canceled. It was probably going to be trash. I didn't see The Little Mermaid. I heard it was pretty good, but I don't know. But
I heard that they made Prince Eric into like kind of like a bitch.
Really?
Like a scared, like timid man that has to be saved by Ariel over and over and over again.
I don't know, but it's just like
furthering the point that like you're kind of making these characters look bad for your sake of your politics.
Yeah, and it's sad because I would have wanted to go see Snow White just for Gal Gadot. You know what? That's my celebrity hall pass.
She was going to be in Snow White.
That's my celebrity hall pass. So let me go back.
Gal Gadot.
Go back to like episode whatever is Gal Gadot.
Really? Okay.
But yeah, I think she was going to be the evil witch.
Interesting. So would she just like pose a lot in front of the mirror?
There's no camera.
Did you ever see Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Did you notice how she poses a lot whenever she's like walking through? She's like,
yeah. You know that Gal Gadot like was in IDF.
Yeah, she was a soldier.
Yeah, like she can actually fuck people up.
Yeah.
No, but
before we call it, because we are getting a little long, do you have any extra advice like on physical fitness or people that want to get into physical fitness?
So everyone knows what a cue is. A cue is basically something that just reminds you. It's like a physical or mental thing that reminds you of something to do that makes something easier. So a big cue that I like to use when it comes to anything, and it mainly pertains to physical fitness, is 1, push harder, and 2, don't be a bitch. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Are we gonna go around the table, or or are we just gonna leave it like that?
No, I'm gonna leave it with that. Don't be a bitch.
Sounds good. Don't be a bitch.
Like get up, go to the gym,
wake up. Yeah. What was it, Joey Diaz? Wake up, smack your balls. This is America, you motherfucker. That's my cue, Joey Diaz. That like, But yeah,
No, I could probably say one more. Train like a madman, eat like a caveman.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh,
is that good? You like that?
Cool.
I came up with that.
All right. Epic. All right. That's it for the show, everybody. Thank you so much for
follow our socials.
Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Spotify, and all of our social media pages for upcoming content. Definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next episode.
Tell your friends about us.
Peace out.